Hey guys, so in today's video we shall be making what is known as Agidi Jollof. Guys, this is simply um that is cornmeal pudding or corn pudding. How would I put it? Okay, let me just say it's a sort of cornmeal pudding. This is not pap, but it's almost like pap when you look at it. And the difference between this one and pap is that you don't allow this to be soaked for more than 24 hours. That is if you are using the main corn itself. But here I am using the powdered. That is what I could lay my hands upon. And it's also good for my blender as well, because at the end of the day I am going to blend it. So if you are, this is how it looks like. This is, this is white corn. You can use the yellow one anyways, because what we are going to do is spiced cornmeal pudding. Let me just put it that way. So I soak this for 5 hours, and the aim of soaking it at all is to enable me to to able to filter it or to strain, to separate the chaff from the main pudding itself, from the main paste. So what we shall be using here is the corn paste, and we shall be cooking it into a sort of pudding. And so this one is just soaked for 5 hours, and for me it's already okay. If you are using the ordinary corn, do not let it go beyond 24 hours, otherwise your pudding will look like pap after after cooking it. It will not, you won't even achieve the type of consistency you need to make this cornmeal pudding. And then we spice it up after straining. So what I will just do here now is I will be putting it into my blender, and I will blending it before straining. So you might think it's pap. Well, it has the same process of making pap, but as I said earlier, the only difference is that this one should not be soaked more than 24 hours. But I don't want, normally I also do it, I also soak it for 24 hours, but for me it's okay like this. Even for 5 hours it's already okay, because I really want it very, very thick, So we blend now. Okay guys, so this is the blended corn powder. So the next thing now is to strain it. So this is the chiffon. So this is the chiffon I will be using to strain it. So let's go. I told you it's just same process of making a akam or pap. The only difference is that this one is just soaked for 5 hours, because it's already in powdered form, so my blender can go along with it. And so you repeat the same process of blending the rest. So okay guys, I have finished straining it, and so this is how it looks like. This is the chaff. This is the chaff. So that's just the chaff. Hope you guys can see properly. So I won't throw this away. I will not throw this away. I will add it into any of my fufu meal. I will just dry it and add it into any of my fufu meal. And beside that, we still have another staple that you don't even have to filter it. I mean, to separate the chaff from the paste. You just cook it together like that. That one is also called cornmeal my. So for that reason, this one is also edible. Use it for whatever you want. So now we move on to the second step. So what I will just do now is I will allow it to go down, and then I will take up the the paste. And you can see, so it starts settling. By the time it will finish settling, then I will throw away the water on top and then just grab the paste. But before then, let us make the spicy stew. Yes. So alright guys, this is the while we wait for the paste, the water to settle, the paste to settle down. So we make the spicy stew for this for the cornmeal pudding. That is the Agidi Jollof is what we are doing here. So let me just show you what we'll be using here. We'll be using red oil. Guys, red oil is one of the major ingredients that give this that exotic taste, actually, because this is mostly done in the village. Let me just say, I grew with it, and I know it to be very, very tasty with red oil. But if you can't lay your hand on red oil, or you don't eat red oil, you can use other oil of your choice. But red oil will give you that taste, that we are used to. So now my pan is hot already, and now I'll be adding some red oil. So I'll be adding, guys, this is an eyeball recipe. So I will be adding red oil. I'll be adding much because I have lots to do with it here. And then, so let me just introduce, while the red oil is about to be bleached, here we shall be bleaching this red oil. We shall be heating it until it will be, it won't be reddish like this anymore. That is, you will bleach it properly. It will have to be properly bleached. So the main thing they use in making this Agidi Jollof is biscuit bone. Here is biscuit bone. Here we have biscuit bone. You see, so that is what is normally used, mostly used to make it. Let me just put it that way. So, but if you can put meat or any other, whatever works for you. So here is biscuit bone. This has been spiced and steamed. This is it here. And then let me just show you other things. So these are the ingredients I will be using. Here I have onions. I have shallots. I have a cayenne fresh pepper, almost fresh, not really dry. I have tomatoes. This is tomato just from the freezer. This is bell pepper. This is garlics. And I will be using 2 cooking cubes. Guys, normally this is the chopped pepper. These spices is what I use here. I use my food processor, to a sort of chopping it. Otherwise, we normally use mortar and pestle, but you can just use your food processor, or you use your hand and just make it's not a smooth paste, it doesn't have to be smooth paste. And then let me show you other things we normally use. Here is a pinch of salt, little quantity of salt. This is shrimps, grounded shrimps. This is ogiri powder or iru powder. I call it also netetu powder. And this is shrimps, guys. These shrimps has been thoroughly selected and neatly washed. As you can see, they are cleaned already. So that is what we shall be using. And let me just show you guys the paste that I'll be using. How I make the pepper paste. Look at it here. You can see it's not smooth. This is how it looks like. Yes, it is how it looks like. So it has to look like this so that you don't have water in your stew. So that is why pestle and mortar is mostly used in the village, So, but here I don't want to be doing that, so I just use food processor to chop it. You can see. So you can also cut it with your knife and chop it on your table or your chopping board. So that is it here. So while we wait for the oil to bleach, look at the oil. You can see the oil is bleaching. See how it's bringing out smoke. So it has to properly bleach. Then the spice, the pepper and the onions will now be added. So that's just about it. Then after that, we shall be now cooking it along with the corn paste. That is the agidi. So that was make it agidi jollof. You know, this is a typical village staple, and I personally love it when I was a growing child. Anyway, so today I said to remember it, and that is all about it. It's very simple, just that I didn't add much spices anyway. I just selected the spices because I don't want, you know, if you add much spices or add more other spices that are not really needed, it will change the taste, that particular exotic taste. So that is why I just used, you know, few spices. And these spices are mostly what is used in cooking it, like the biscuit bone that I have here, like the chopped, you know, the chopped pepper, onions, and the garlics. I didn't add ginger because I don't have any. So you can add ginger if you have. These are the spices: the pepper, the onions, and the crayfish. I mean the shrimps, pinch of salt, and of course the mortar and the pesto if you want to use your mortar. Otherwise, it's still okay this way. So we wait for the oil to bleach more. You see the way it's bleaching? Yeah, that is how it's supposed to be, so that it gives you that good taste. I mean, that exotic taste. It will give you good taste, but we are targeting, you know, that exotic taste. So guys, the oil is ready. Be careful because everywhere is full of smoke. You know, I'll be adding the pinch of salt, and now I'll be adding the spices. Guys, when you are doing this, be very careful because it's really smoky here. At this moment, I have to put off my gas. So you can see the oil has bleached enough. So we continue frying. Guys, this oil was so hot that the whole house was full of smoke, and everybody was coughing, including me myself. So when you are bleaching the oil, be careful. So now it's about frying the mixed pepper. You know what I mean? The onions, the garlic, the ginger, whatever. So this is I've added the pepper. You can see I didn't add water. I didn't use it for now because it has to be that typical dry sauce, you know, dry pepper sauce, sort of. So you just allow it to continue drying. Now I will increase the volume of the heat. Then I will allow it to continue drying. So now guys, I'll be adding the cooking cubes. I'll be adding these two. And then I'll be adding the biscuit bone so that it will dry along with the sauce, the ata sauce, pepper sauce. And then so this one is the iru powder, that is ogiri. The powder. So we'll be adding the iru powder. We shall be adding the other spices later. This one will give you that typical, you know, village taste. So see, this is how exactly it should look like, you know. You see why you don't have to blend your pepper, your onions. You don't just have to blend, you have to chop it, you know, like this way. You have to look like this. But if you don't like it this way, you can still smoothen it. You can make it a smooth paste. I mean, your tomatoes, your pepper, you can make it into a smooth paste. But this is how it's being cooked. This is how I grew to know it, like this. So I allow it to continue drying. Then I will later add the shrimp and the shrimp powder. And then we move on to the next chapter, and that is the preparation of the agidi. Then before we add the spiced dry pepper sauce to make it agidi jollof. All right guys, so the next ingredient now is the powdered shrimps. Guys, this scents so beautiful, yummy here. And then finally adding of the shrimps. I love shrimp so much, so I added a lot, as you can see. And after this is the last. Shrimp was the last ingredient, and that is it. So you add salt to your own taste, and then voila, that is it. Apart from the agidi itself, apart from the corn pudding staple of itself, you can also use this fried sauce to eat every other thing. Yes, you can actually use it to eat your rice, eat yam, eat your potato, eat your plantain, whatever. So it tastes. So that is it, guys. So at this junction now, I've lowered the fire, as you can see. So it's just to allow it to sizzle, and that's it. At this stage, you don't have to lower your gas or your fire or your heat, whatever. Otherwise, your pot will start burning. And you can see here, I don't have any burning. So you can see. So, you know, there's no water in this sauce. We didn't add water. So there's every tendency of it's burning. And then beside, depends on your type of pot. So I am done with it. So now it's time to cook the agidi, the corn paste. Okay guys, so now it's time to cook the paste. So this is the paste, and so the pot I will be using to cook it is the same pot I used to steam the meat, because of the spices that was left in the pot. So what I did is that I strained the water from the corn paste, that is it here, and so I will be adding some of the paste, and I will start stirring it, you know. So that's just what I'm doing. I will be doing here now. That is okay. So I will be adding some so you add salt to your taste, you know. So you start turning, and then before then you will now scoop from the pepper spice that we just did. You scoop from it just to give you that color. Actually, some people will just simply put the entire spices inside the pot this way. They put the oil, the onions, whatever, and cook it like that. But I just want it this way because I really want to fry the spices separately. So that is why I did it this way. Besides that, it's also being done in this particular way I did it. So take from this sauce. Be careful you don't take the shrimps. So just to cook it along, and get the consistency that you want. So this is how it will look like, and then you continue cooking it. Continue cooking. Continue stirring it. Make sure it doesn't get burnt, so you can lower your heat if you feel it's getting too hot. We have to continue cooking it until we achieve that type of, very thick consistency. Yes. Okay guys, so here we are now. I want to quickly show you how you will know that it's done. It's two ways. Otherwise, if you are not able to identify when it's done, it means you will end up having instead of having it in form of ball, very solid consistency, then you have it in form of pap. And that is the aim of soaking it few hours or soaking it 24 hours before blending. If you soak it more than 24 hours or more than few hours, just as I did, guys, it means you are not doing agidi, or what is also known as eko or akasa. It means you are doing pap, that is ogi or akamu. But if you are doing, apart from doing it this way that I did it, if you really want to do agidi or eko, if you are using normal grain, that normal maize grain, you soak it just for 24 hours. The reason is for you to have this type of solid consistency. Look at it here. So, but in this case, because I used the powderish form, so I soaked it for 5 hours. Now look at for you to know that it's done, look at it here. Look at what I'm doing here now. You see? I don't know if you are seeing it. Look at it from here. You see? You see the way I'm doing it? It's not falling back. Look at it like this. You see? You see what I'm doing? It's not falling back. You can see that space is still there. It means it's done. You see what I'm doing? I don't know if you can see it properly. Look at it like this. You see? You see, this space is still there. It means it's done. But if it's not done, once you do it like this, the whole thing will just fall back like this. But look at it now. You see? It's just like when you are making fufu, you see? Yes, this shows that it's done, and the consistency that we want is there now. Look at it. If you do it this way and this space here is filled immediately, then it means it's not done. Then the second way of knowing that it's done is, look at it. Look at what I'm doing now. You see? It's just like when you are making fufu. Let me show you how it will look like. You see? Look at what I'm doing. You see? Hope you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so you see, so it's like fufu now. That means it's done. Yes, that is the aim of soaking it either for 24 hours or a few hours before blending. Yeah, that is the aim. Look at it. You can see, just like fufu. Yeah, so it means it's done. Look at it now. So right now, what I will just do is, I will now be adding the meat and the shrimps. Wow, guys, it tastes so nice already. So now I'll be taking, you shouldn't add this at initial stage, otherwise the whole thing will be broken. So now I'll be adding the biscuit bone. Wow, guys, this is so yummy. The shrimps, the biscuit bone, yeah, as I said earlier, that you can actually add all of them and cook it once, but I don't really like it that way, and it won't give you that taste, this particular type of taste that I got now. Actually, I've eaten part of it. I've used slices of bread, tasted with some slice of bread. You can see, look at it, guys. Wow, see the consistency that we have here. So we leave it for 2 or 3 minutes and then we serve. So that is it here, and then You see it? Wow. So this shows that it's done. You can look at the way it comes out in blocks. It means, yeah, if it's not done, you won't get it this way. It won't be like this. It will not. Look at how neat the pot looks like. Yes, this is exactly what we are trying to achieve. So this is the Agidi Jollof, and yes, two things to get this type of consistency. This exactly like this. Your corn or your maize, if you are using it in powderish form, you can leave it few hours, like I did mine, just for 5 hours. If you are doing it with ordinary corn seed or corn grain, depends on the potency of your blender, just soak it for 24 hours. Anything more than that is no longer agidi. It will become akam, that is pap. So you can see. So this one shows that it's done. Yeah, look at it. So we allow it to for some minutes, and then we serve. Okay guys, so now it's time to serve it. So I'll be using these breakable bowls. As you can see from here, I'll be using these bowls as molds. Normally in Africa we use oma leaves or banana leaves, but here we don't have that. And I don't want to use plastic cups. You know the danger involved in that. So I prefer using my ceramic bowls. I will still get the same mold. All I want is mold. So let's start from this one. So just put the whole thing, and then you get the mold. Yeah, make sure you put so just, you see, it has to remain in mold like this. Yes. Then take the second bowl. Then so I don't want to use a plastic film. Just prefer using, so this one is second one. And then I will also use these little ones. So that is Agidi Jollof, guys. It tastes so yummy. Even the scent, the aroma itself. So this is another one. Okay guys, so now it's time to serve. It has come down. Look at it. Wow. See, look at how it looks like. Yeah, that's it. Ooh la la. So guys, I will be adding some, I scooped some of the pepper sauce to complement the pudding. That is to say you can actually eat it with the, with the pepper sauce. So here we are. You can actually eat it with your pepper sauce, which is here, and you can decide to eat it just like that. So this is our Agidi Jollof or Eko Jollof, whichever way you call it. But above all, this is corn dough, spiced corn dough. This brings back my childhood memories, and I really love it. It's one of the staples I really love in my childhood days. Thank you guys for watching this video. Bye bye.